He looks like he owns credit. Oh my gosh. Man like Arthur from Batman.
Namaste, dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, ciao. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10, Friday, the 16th of June. We like a Friday, as you know. Why do we like a Friday? Best day of the week. Anticipation of the weekend ahead. For us as agents, Saturday's the big day. Everybody goes out and views property on a Saturday. So all the drive is towards making sure people go out and see things. How are you? I hope you're well. We've had a bit of a stressy morning this morning. Literally, as soon as we came in, 9 o'clock, bang, first call, chain's broken down. Then we managed to resolve it literally within that half an hour. Then someone calls up and says, you lied to me about this. This buyer's not a cash buyer. And we're like, that's really weird because we always check that sort of thing quite thoroughly. Spoke to the buyer, still a cash buyer, and it was a misunderstanding with the solicitor. So we went from a lot of stress this morning to all of a sudden, So we literally started again, reset, and said good morning, and started the day again from there. And hopefully it will get better because it could get worse. But apart from that, some good appointments today, both for sales and for rentals. We've got some fantastic stock and some of the upmarket stock as well. We just got a flat in Highbury, the old Arsenal ground. Absolutely mind-blowing development that is. It's got obviously the usual things you expect like a gym, but absolutely beautiful. And when you walk through that tunnel, you really do feel like you're coming out onto a football pitch. Incredible. Got a fantastic flat there with its own private garden within that development. And apart from that, on the sales front, lots of people still out viewing. Obviously, interest rates are a challenge, to say the least, and people are worried about them, and rightly so. And I think in terms of what we expect to see next week on June 22nd, the next MPC meeting, is probably another quarter point. I hope I'm wrong, though. We do know that at the last MPC meeting, 2 members of the committee voted not to increase rates. That's the best we can hope for. We can't hope for a cut. That's highly unlikely, but we can hope for a hold. I saw an article in, I think it was Landlord Today, by a lady called Gina Peters, and she's the head of Landlord and Tenant Department at Dutton Gregory. Dutton Gregory are a really good firm. We deal with them for our legal helpline. And she's saying, where is the place investment in the court system, in the Renters Reform Act? Because part of the Renters Reform Act was going to be, we're going to help tenants, but actually we're going to help landlords as well by streamlining and improving the court services. We've heard nothing about that. And I don't think it will happen any more than the criminal cases of the criminal courts have been helped over the years. It seems to me that everybody ignores this because it's expensive and something nobody wants to face up and tackle. But it's a really integral and important part of keeping landlords' confidence. And keeping landlords' confidence is critical to keeping a healthy buy-to-let sector. But all the way along, it seems the government have looked to squeeze out the private landlord, and now all of a sudden it's biting them on the posterior. And that will go on, I suspect, for a while longer, because as interest rates go up with all the other disincentives, plus the Renters Reform Act scaring people, we are already seeing some landlords choosing to sell. Apart from that, good news on the sales front. Because rents are so high, we're starting to see first-time buyers come back into the fold, which is nice. It's nice to have the first-time buyer back, as opposed to they were beaten quite a lot of the time in the last few years by the buy-to-let investor, because the buy-to-let investor came with larger deposits, a quicker and slicker system of being able to get to mortgage offer. And so on balance, if you've got a first-time buyer, maybe a bit fickle, 5 or 10% deposit versus buy-to-let investor, 25% deposit, has a portfolio, then actually, the lean was always towards the buy-to-let investor. But now it's good because it's nice to see young families, especially and young people, getting investment into the housing market and getting into their first home. There's something very special about being present when they look at the one and look at each other and say, this is the one, and then the excitement that follows, followed by the stress that can follow that, of course, because it's never straightforward buying a property. Everything's subject to contract until it's not, and it's not right at the last minute before you move in. So that's just something that hopefully will be addressed in the longer term. You remember those home information packs? They will partly look to address that as a solution. And in fact, we do auction pre-sale packs at the moment for our auction properties, and they're a thing of beauty. Everyone's got the information in advance, so literally on the day they can exchange contracts. What could be better? Absolutely fantastic system. And I don't know why it's not widened to the broader housing market, because it will make things so much better for sellers and buyers if they could just make the offer and then exchange contracts within a very brief period of time, as opposed to have to wait for all these questions, which can be answered in advance. They're not rocket science, most of them. Length of lease, service charge, 3 years accounts, they can all be provided even on leasehold properties. If it's freehold, it's even simpler. So I do think that that's something I'd like to see addressed in the next couple of years. Apart from that, lovely sunny day here in southwest London in Norbury. Not a cloud in the sky. The only thing there is in the sky is lots of pollen. So if you're a hay fever sufferer, you have my sympathy. It's certainly been a tough day for that. So that's it for this week, actually. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. We are certainly going to work hard towards making sure that we have a really busy one. And we look forward to speaking to you again on Monday. Until then, as always, if you've got a property, you need some advice or help you're in trouble with, not sure which way to go, we love difficult questions. Give us a call. Ken on 0208 679 8601 from Ken at 10, James Alexander, or give us an email. Drop me an email, ken@jamesalexander.com. If you're thinking of selling, always love to take those calls. We love to sell houses. If you think you're renting similarly, give us a call. Take care. Speak soon. Ciao.